We drive the Ford F-150 Raptor and put it through its paces at our test track. We discuss AAA's study of pedestrian detection systems, and what do you do when your mechanic contradicts your owner's manual? Next on Talking Cars. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode. I'm Mike Monticello.
I'm Gabe Shenhauer.
I'm Ryan Pizlakowski.
So in the news this week, the AAA, or American Automobile Association, released the results of a study it has done on pedestrian detection systems. And we're going to talk a little bit about their results today. And Gabe, could you maybe first just explain to everyone out there what a pedestrian detection system is exactly?
Sure. So the car can detect a pedestrian and can warn the driver or apply the brakes by itself to prevent a collision.
Right, and you know, pedestrian detection is part of these advanced driver assistance systems, things like automatic emergency braking, forward collision warning, those things that we're big fans of. And you know, here at CR, we give credit to vehicles to their overall score if they have effective safety systems, and that includes automatic emergency braking.
Correct.
But if they only have low speed or city speed, meaning the system doesn't work up to highway speeds, then it doesn't get credit unless it also has pedestrian detection. So we believe in the system. So in the study this week, AAA says, you know, there are some limitations. You know, they tested 4 different 2019 model year sedans, and there are some areas where they don't work reliably. For instance, they basically were ineffective in the dark. And, you know, NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, says 75% of pedestrian fatalities occur after dark, which is why we do headlight testing here and why we're big proponents of headlight systems that shine further down the road, not necessarily being so bright, right? So that's important. Another area that they found these systems are limited is when a vehicle is making a right-hand turn and an adult is crossing. None of the systems mitigated the speed there at all. And the 2 other areas where they struggle, when 2 adults are walking along the side of the road, parallel to the vehicle, and also if a child is darting out into traffic from between 2 parked cars. So now I know that sounds a little negative, that sounds okay, but the reality is AAA, like us, believes in these systems and believes that they need to get better. Mm-hmm. They still say, this is from AAA, they say, buy a car that has this technology, but act like your car doesn't have it. Never rely on pedestrian detection to avoid a collision, which is something we've been saying about all of these advanced driver assistance systems. You still have to be alert at all times. And they also say they're absolutely supportive of this technology, and automakers should make pedestrian detection systems standard equipment while also moving forward with continual refinement. So on its face, the headline from AAA might sound a little damaging, but Ryan, I mean, that's not what's really going on here, right?
No, and listen, this is all part of the process of these systems evolving and becoming better. You know, they didn't just build a car one day and put ABS brakes in it and it just worked perfectly. I mean, this stuff, it took a long time for that to become a good working system, and now it's great. It's part of all these other systems. The pedestrian detection systems, these are systems that have to recognize a human object or an object in the road, but accurately. Like, you can't just lock up these tires on this car for no reason if it's wrong. That's not safe either. So this is a very advanced thing, and it's going to take a while, and this is just part of the process.
Yeah, pedestrian detection systems are one of the more recent of these technology systems, and obviously it's much harder, Gabe, to detect, you know, a narrow human than it is a vehicle.
Yeah, the reality is that these systems have some limitations, and I mean, we know this kind of stuff. This is no different than you know, an airbag may not always save your life. Right. So
hope it's in. You want it in your car. You hope you never have to use it.
Right. So these scenarios exist where these systems are going to struggle. I mean, they're only in the beginning. But absolutely, you should have that and treat it as a backup. It's another redundancy. It's no replacement for an alert driver, and it's really disconcerting that pedestrian fatalities have been on the rise. 10 years ago, there were about 4,000 a year, and the latest figures are about 6,000. Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is. This is a system that can save lives. It can also or reduce the severity of the crash. You know, even if it doesn't completely stop the car, it can hopefully slow the car down. Manufacturers have a ways to go. the potential is huge for what these systems will be able to do down the road.
So one word of warning is that the headlines you're going to see probably are going to focus on the limitations in these scenarios and kind of like lose the main point. And it's really easy for the other media and the public to misconstrue this message and think, oh yeah, these things don't work and I shouldn't spend my money on.
They're not bad.
Absolutely not.
They're
That's not the message here. The message is, get these things. They work in most cases, and just be aware that they have some limitations.
Bottom line, it's better to have these systems than to not have them. We have a lot of stories related to advanced driver assistance systems on consumerreports.org, so please go check that out. Let's move on to one of my favorite segments is what we drove at the track this week. And what we drove at the track this week was the Ford F-150 Raptor. For those of you that may not know what a Raptor is, it's a very niche-oriented version of the F-150. It's basically like a desert race truck, something that would, what they might call a trophy truck, or something that would race in the Baja 500, a serious lifted off-road truck. This one's street legal from the factory, and it's it's a truck that's designed for a specific kind of people, that may go off-road, love the look of this truck. It has big, beefy tires. It has these Fox Racing shock absorbers, a lot of extra travel.
Does that mean those shocks are better than Bilstein shocks? Or?
I'm not saying. But this truck is a very serious machine. It has a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6, what Ford calls their EcoBoost, with 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque, a 10-speed automatic transmission. So we rented this truck from Ford. We're not going to buy a Raptor, unfortunately, but we have been having.
We rent cars like that from time to time. This is just like experiencing BMW M3, for instance. Whereas we're testing the 330i, but the extreme Halo version of the model line is something that needs to be experienced by us.
Right. Bottom line is we had a lot of fun with this truck. Let's start with you, Ryan. What'd you think of this thing?
Oh, it's awesome. It's a better F-150. I mean, in my opinion, first of all, it's gorgeous. I love the look of it. I mean, it looks like a trophy truck. It looks like it came off the Baja 500. I could do without some of the graphics on the side of the truck. I'm a more plain guy when it comes to that. But this truck has nice all-terrain tires on it. It's wide. The fenders are bulged out. It's got like a nice running board that's metal with a coating on it, so it looks rugged. The truck drives nice. It has better steering feel than maybe any of the 1500 series trucks. Yeah. Way better than the regular F-150.
Better than the F-150.
Yeah, and I always like the Silverado steering. This has better steering than that, I think. It's got tons of power. It's not as fast as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a little more wild.
I thought the same thing.
I thought it was going to be more neck snapping.
I would floor it now, exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds pretty good.
It sounds great,
but it's not. Partially, I think, because the truck's really heavy, but it's not as.
And you're turning a lot of rubber, so I think that weighs it down a little bit.
Definitely not as quick in a straight line.
Right.
As I thought.
But you could hit a pothole and it soaks it up like it's not even there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive.
Any road imperfection, it doesn't notice. Gabe, what do you think about it?
Let me step back a couple of.
Don't bring us down, man. Don't bring us down.
Now, let me just give some background. All the manufacturers have some Halo truck that is a profit center for them. But for instance, the Ram Rebel, the Silverado Trail Boss, and some others, off-road special trucks. But Ford went further here. I mean, it has its unique engine, unique suspension pieces, all kinds of transfer case, and a bunch of things. So, I mean, it's an enjoyable truck. I mean, it looks really looks special. I mean, it's head turning for sure. I mean, it's quick. It sounds great. It's definitely fast and furious, and it's capable, incredibly capable. I mean, we tried
Talk about our Rock Hill. Yeah.
We tried it on our Rock Hill, and it just walked right up it, no sweat whatsoever.
Boring, actually.
Yeah, even with those running boards, it still didn't hit anything.
Not even close. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Most vehicles that we take up there, if they have running boards or something, they're hitting something, usually the running boards. This thing didn't seem to care at all. I took it on some pretty serious dirt roads that we're fortunate to have around this area. And again, if there was like embedded rock or whatever, it just didn't care. It drives over everything. You can go mud bogging with it, and it feels like it can handle anything that you throw at it, while still not being a limiting factor on the road. I really thought you'd think is it going to be too stiff, or no? It's actually got a pretty nice ride.
Doesn't give up
much. The suspension travel is so incredible. I mean, just looking at it, climbing our rock hill is
very controlled.
Is so enjoyable.
Right. Yeah. But it's not for everyone. I mean, it starts at $53,000. That's a lot of money for a pickup truck.
Yeah, and when you price it out with typical options, you easily get to $75,000.
So obviously, trucks like the Raptor, very niche vehicles. It's kind of like how people might aspire to buy a BMW or an Audi or a Mercedes. The Raptor's kind of like the truck version of those vehicles. People aspire to that. The biggest market is in the Southwest, Ford says. And I saw a lot when I drove down from Vancouver. I drove down through Oregon and Washington. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of these out there. You might not see a lot of them here in New England, though. This truck appeals to a certain type of person. Gabe, who do you think this truck is really geared toward?
So you're going to see a lot of outdoorsy type tells the world, oh, I'm an outdoorsy kind of person. I know what I'm doing. But you know what? I would bet you that in most cases, this is just an image car, and it's for the looks, the intimidating looks, the sound, the performance.
People get excited when they see this truck. When you pull up, they're like excited when they see this Raptor. Right. And I've seen people sometimes where their F-150 looks kind of like a Raptor, because the Raptor is kind of unique. It has these lights across the grille, and big fenders and
the big Ford grill,
wheels.
The big
right.
Grill,
and so sometimes I'll see an F-150. I'm like, is that a Raptor? No, that's not a Raptor. But
it's hard to get those fenders, because that truck's actually wider than a regular F-150.
Yes.
Those fenders are, the suspension's bigger, everything's actually a little wider. So you'd spend a ton of money making it look like a real Raptor. You might as well just buy one, I think, at that point. But it's a good looking truck. So I mean, of course, people want to make their regular truck look like that.
Right. It's an exciting truck. It's not for everyone. We had a lot of fun driving it. It was good for us to experience it, to be able to talk, about the different versions of the F-150. Unique version. We won't be buying one, but it certainly was a lot of fun. And if you get a chance to buy one, I think you're gonna really enjoy this truck. So we're going to move on to audience questions, and this week we have all video questions. Don't forget, send those questions, comments, 30-second video clips to talkingcars@icloud.com. We're going to start with Rudolph. Let's see what Rudolph is talking about today.
Hey, Talking Cars. Love your show. Been watching it for years now. And I'm a proud owner of a 2015 Camry, which has about 60,000 miles on it. And I have a quick question. I went to my dealership recently to get my oil change done, and they told me that I'm supposed to change the brake fluid every 30,000 miles. And when I referred to my owner's manual, it does not mention anything about it. So my question is, should I trust the dealership, or what should I do about it?
So Gabe, should Rudolph trust the dealership, or what should he be doing here?
The reality is that dealers don't make a whole lot of money by selling new cars. So they have to make it up by service. And so a lot of times they have their own programs which are not necessarily what the manufacturer recommends. In this particular case, 30,000 miles for brake fluid seems a little early. I think maybe 60,000 miles is more in line with what needs to be done to avoid moisture in the system and whatnot. So I think I'd consult the owner's manual and what the manufacturer recommends as opposed to what the dealer recommends.
Right, and I did look up the owner's manual for this 2015 Toyota Camry, and it does not say anything in there about changing the brake fluid up to and including 60,000 miles. So I think you make a good point, Gabe, that if you're having your brakes done, not a bad idea to do it, but you don't need to seek it out to do this. So there you go, good Rudolph. Question. Hopefully that helps. That is a great question. Let's see what Jorge has to say today.
Hi, Talking Cars. My name is Jorge. I love the show. I wanted some recommendation for replacing a new tire. I had a blown tire not too long ago. The puncture's on the sidewall. Got mixed advice whether to buy one tire or two tires, whether to shave that one tire and where to place it. So I was looking for your guys' advice. I'm currently running Pilot Super Sports that Michelin apparently no longer makes on my 2014 Mazda 6 with a stick. Save the manuals. And so, I wanted your advice, whether to buy two tires or one tire, and what other advice you have.
So first of all, yes, save the manuals. We love it. But Ryan, so what's your advice here? Get 2 tires, get 1 tire. Any other advice you can give to him?
Yeah, so he did the right thing. That a puncture in the sidewall is not fixable. That tire is garbage. The first thing to consider is how worn are these tires in general. If the tires are all like approaching 50% worn, these are ultra high performance summer tires, so they don't last that long.
Okay.
These tires from the factory have a 30,000 mile warranty. That's not that long. You might not even get 30,000 miles, right? Okay. If he could be approaching halfway worn, you probably should just replace them all.
All 4 tires.
What I don't understand is why is he having a Michelin Pilot Sport?
Well, listen,
on,
some people like the
car.
extra grip.
This is not a Corvette or a Porsche. It's a Mazda 6, right?
It's a pretty serious tire for a not super serious car, but that's his choice.
It is, but when we tell people you can always go up in speed rating and performance, it's an expensive tire and it's not going to last as long. But if that's what he wants, then that's good.
What if he's at? What if the tires aren't that worn?
I would recommend you could buy 2 tires and put them on the same axle, on the rear axle, the new tires. Yeah. So I looked into that a little bit. The Michelin Pilot Super Sport appears to still be made. I don't know if specific his size is. He may have done an upgrade and changed the size or whatever. I'd recommend looking online, shopping around. You might find that size in inventory somewhere. If it is, that tire will be going away eventually, but it's still pretty prominent out there. If you can't get that tire, you can stick with the same brand, stay with a Michelin tire, and maybe go to the Pilot Sport 4S, which we just tested actually, did very well. Check our ratings, but never change the type of tire. Like, don't go to an all-season tire or change the brand.
Right. So in other words, don't have 2 of one brand and model up front and a different model in the rear. Is what you're saying?
Different brand. Yeah. You can stay within. We would say you could stay within the same brand.
Okay.
Michelin, another Michelin summer tire in the rear, just because their methodology with creating products. This is a newer tire. It's going to be the same or better.
Is there ever a situation when you would replace just 1 tire?
If he could buy that same tire right now, and his other tires are they're 3/4 worn, 75%, just buy 1 tire and put it on the rear with the other one, and you're good to go.
Okay, great question.
Yeah, very good question.
Let's see what Brian is asking us today.
Hey, Talking Cars. This is Brian Falchuk from the Boston area, and I was kind of surprised watching an episode the other day with Mike, John, and Gabe talking about their ideal car, like if money didn't matter, what would they get? And John threw out the Blazer at the end, and I feel like I've been seeing the car on the road. I think it looks amazing, but any reference to it on the show before has been kind of negative, or at least not positive. Like, it's been focused on awkwardness of visibility and the controls, and why you think it's not doing well. And I haven't seen a full review from you guys, so I'm really curious why the great and why maybe not so great on the Blazer. Thanks.
So Brian's referring to episode 221 when you, myself, and John Linko were choosing a vehicle for each of us for our different stages of life. Point of fact, it really wasn't if money didn't matter. We were trying to be somewhat reasonable with our choices.
I didn't get that memo either.
Yeah. Other than myself, who chose the Raptor, maybe not the most prudent vehicle. But anyway, Gabe, John didn't choose the Blazer, but he said that could be an option for where he was with his family. Where do you stand with the Blazer? Brian thinks we really don't like it that much, but I think we kind of do like it.
Yeah, first, the purpose was to highlight that we're human beings. We're also we have our preferences and likings and dislikes and whatnot. So it's not exactly exact list of our ratings table here. Now the Blazer, to your question, is a pretty decent car. It looks pretty distinctive. It did pretty well in our tests in most big things. Of course, it has some niggles, namely visibility, and what bugs me the most are the low dash vents that are. They mimic the Camaros, but I just don't like getting my elbow and my knee frozen in the summer when the AC is on.
It's hard to get the air up here. What I find with the Blazer though is the more I drive it, the more I like it. It has a nice, powerful V6 that's smooth, good transmission, decent handling, nice ride. You know what I mean? From the first time I drove it, I was like, this is easy I can live with this car. This is easy. It looks good, I think. It's not perfect. It's got some vices, I think, but it's a nice car. To his point, it's a good-looking car, and I haven't seen a lot of them either driving around. I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I think part of it is that it tends to get expensive when it's typically equipped. For instance, if you want a sunroof, it's hard to get the car for less than $45,000.
Right.
Also, bear in mind that it takes a while to see brand new cars on the
Start to
road
soak
because during the first few months, there's never any good lease deals on recently introduced cars. It takes about 6 to 9 months
Right.
for that to happen. Then you start seeing the cars on the road.
Right. And, you know,
Good point.
to the point of the Blazer being a pretty good driving vehicle, it would have scored better in its overall score if it weren't for the lack of standard advanced safety features and that it has below average predicted reliability.
Right.
Those two things hurt it. Otherwise, it would do a little bit better and it would look a little stronger in our ratings.
Yeah.
So I think the moral of the story with something like the Blazer is, you know, check out the ratings. Make sure you're getting the vehicle that's best for you.
Yeah.
We don't all want the exact same things, you know.
Right.
So-
You don't pick the top car off the list always, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Check all the little things that,
Yeah.
that matter the most to you in all of the different rating categories.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's going to do it for this episode. If you want to learn more about the cars and the topics we talked about today, you can click on the links in the show notes. Don't forget to send those questions, comments, 30-second video clips to talkingcars@icloud.com. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week.